function notation, fairly simple. We'll go through some problems. You tell me. The first 8, let's pick 2. Which one do you want to do? 7, and what else? 6, yes, 6. Because 6 gets confused with something else, okay? Here we go. Let's do 6 first. 6, Jared, read 6 for me, please.
G times h of x.
Okay, there you go. G times h of x. That's exactly right, okay? So anyone, what does that mean? Nice, Emily. You're going to multiply those together. That's all that means. So g of x is this guy, and h of x is this. Now if I FOIL and multiply, I know that my first term is going to be 3x squared. And my outside terms, quick in your head, would be what? What? Minus 20. Yep, minus 20x. And what is your last one going to be? Plus 12. Nice. That's the answer to 6. You with me? What do people mostly confuse this with is the following. They see this and they think that it represents a composite function or a composition. Okay? I'm going to show you something right now, and I want you to follow me because you can use your calculator. Home to menu C, okay, okay. And on the calculator portions, because I saw some of you, you did very well on the non-calculator. You grew a lot. Now I'm going to start showing you calculator tricks because I want you to grow on that now. Okay, but I need you to show you content before replacing it with, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay? Alright, so here we go. I want you to follow me. Oh, this was from my other calculator. Let me quickly. Alright, so home to menu C, okay, okay. Hurry up, catch up. Oh my gosh. Oh, maybe, it's because someone has my calculator right now. Let me log into this one. Someone was just controlling the screen. That was cool. Alright. So, calculator page. Real quick. Here's mine. Someone had my calculator. No worries. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at these functions. Okay, Jack, real quick. What's the first function that we were given?
Right here is.
So f of x. What's f of x?
F of x is 9x squared minus 4.
Follow me. 9x squared minus 4. Control variable. We're going to store it as f of x. Blake, what's the next one? G of x.
X minus 6.
X minus 6. I'm going to go control variable, and I'm going to call it g of x. We good? Dylan, what's my last one? 3x minus 2. We're going to control it, and we're going to store it as h of x. Now, let's go through some of these. Let's do number 1. F of negative 2 is 32. Let's do number 2. So number 2 is a little bit different because it has t minus 2. So let's do f of t minus 2. Sure enough, there's your answer. Let's do number 3. H of m minus 3. There's your answer. Y'all with me, guys, of how we're doing this? And let's do a function composition. Which one of these is a function composition? Are there any function compositions? No. Let's do the one that we just did of g of h of x. So we'll say g of h of x, and there's your answer. Let's do that one that we did as multiplication. So g times h of x, and you tell me what's happening. Does this one? No, this one does not work. This is the only one that we actually have to think of. As Emily said before, we have to show this as g of x times h of x from those laws that we know of this notation. Now look, it doesn't necessarily expand everything out to your final answer, but we can get that here in just a bit. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to press menu, 3, expand. Expand is, oops, let me go up, and I'll grab this by pressing enter, and then it will expand it, and there's your answer. So expand means to FOIL. Yeah? Okay. So expand means to FOIL. Menu, watch, 3, factor, could be to factor that back to where it was. I want to start teaching you some algebra stuff, or some calculator stuff. Questions of what you just learned?
Is there a way to do that on the TI-84?
There's not a way to do that on the TI-84. That's why I want you to get this very, very handy. Check this out real quick. Right, okay, guys in the back, if you can watch real quick, I'm going to show you something else. Again, you can watch this video later, okay, if you need to kind of catch up with it. Menu, 3, 7, 1. Solving systems of linear equations. Some of you use the matrix form. You don't need to do the matrix form anymore. Let's say that you had negative 2x plus y, and you had it equal to 5. And your other equation, you had like y equals 5x plus 10. Whoops, I forgot the x. Thank you. So I'm going to come right here, and I'll do x. I put times. I pressed the times button instead of x. But anyway, there's your answer. X is negative 5/3, y is 5/3. You don't have to do row reduced echelon form anymore. You don't have to do an augmented matrix with matrices as far as this. Remember that RREF business that we would then get this 2 by 3, and it was something like you did this in number of rows. This would be 2, and then you would enter the coefficients, which on that one is, let's practice with this, negative 2, 1, 5. And then you have negative 5, because I moved it over, 1, 10, and you still get the answers. You with me? This is a little review. Let's see if you were listening when we were in summer boot camp. Because that is a 1, it will either look like that, or like this. Which of these 3 does it look like? The first one. Just the first one. If it's a 1, it's going to have one answer. If it's anything other than a 1, give me a number. 2. Then you have to ask yourself, does this number equal the one that's right next to it? Does 2 equal 5/3? No. So there'd be no solutions. They'd have the same slope but different y-intercepts. You with me, guys? Questions?
Wait, and then the third one would be if the number was equal?
Yeah, like if this was a 2, or let's say this was a 5/3, then it's always true. So it's infinite solutions. Same slope, same y-intercepts. You're overlapping all these small things. I'm not just doing it just for fun. I know how they test you, okay? How they do elimination method with some of those that you're doing with non-calculator, what you get as far as answers go. Remember when you do elimination method by hand? Guys, if I'm left over, after I did Illumini, I'm sorry, that was weird. Let's say that I canceled out that was so weird. Anyway, I canceled out y, and I know, I was left with x. Which one of these 3, if I was left with this after adding 2 by hand together, 1, 2, or 3, which one would it be? It would be 1. But when you cancel out the x's and the y's, and only numbers are left, which one? It would be 2 or 3, right? You just have to ask yourself, is this true? No. So it would be 2. It's the same thing going on in this matrix form. And yes, sometimes they will test it with matrices. Questions? Okay, we have about, 3 minutes? 4 minutes. Let's go back. Let's go to composite functions. Let's practice just a little bit. Let's do 7. And then let's do 8. And what I want you to do, guys, is I want you to do it by hand. And then I want you to get the practice with the calculator real quick before you leave by storing all those functions. And let me help you out first before you start. So I do need your attention real quick. Before you start, if you try to store another function, I want you to do this between problems, okay? If I pressed F right now, this is bolded. And it's bolded because it's saving, or it's already saved. So if I want to take off all and clear all storage, menu 1 4, I'll do it again, menu 1 for actions, 4 for clear storage A to Z, and press OK. Now if I press F, it no longer is bolded because nothing is saved. And I know some of you like a clear calculator screen, menu 1 5. Okay, so do those questions. What numbers were they again? 7 and 8. Do them by hand, and please try and practice with the calculator and check it by hand. And I want to see that before you leave, please.
Wait, so you do or don't want us to do that?
I want you to do both. I want you to do it by hand, and then I want you to check with the calculator.